Welcome, Aquarius. Well, the sun now is in Aries. And we have a masculine emperor and we have a feminine emperor. And to recognize that in your deck we have two versions lets us know that you are the one that brings the future. You are changing the structures here through your deck, right? So the sun in Aries, bringing you the masculine emperor and the feminine emperor, is that sign. Is when we look into the meditation, we recognize the truth. And this is what is bringing the awakening. Nothing else can awaken us. We cannot tell people what to do or what not to do. So the sun is giving the light to the moon, and the moon, of course, is in your sign. We're going to the right to your full moon, which you have in your opposite sign, Leo. So the 17 and the 18. Sun god Apollo, and of course the sun is a dwarf star, 17, 18, 19. So recognize the message that is coming to you through your subconscious. You recognize again and again the shifts and the changes that are happening right now. You are the King of Swords, masculine and feminine king. The same thing. Again, you bringing the new perspective to the patriarch. There can be a masculine king and a feminine king, right? So that's what I love about your deck. That's why I gave it to you, right? Each of the 22 major arcana has their own deck, and as such I am challenged to read in between the 15th century and today, right? You are Aquarius, the one that sees or has the vision, because you're the 11th house of community and technology. And technology can now be used to help us to become even more intuitive. But again, everything in moderation. Then we're going to look at the Fool, which is Uranus, that is ruling you. And Uranus is a new beginning. The Uranus energy is always that also the revolution comes. Then we're going to look at the Mercury in Aries situation, retrograde, right? So here we are recognizing that Mercury in Aries retrograde is making you go slower with the way you want to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. Then we have Venus in Aries retrograde, the same thing. So here we have Venus, the Empress. She gives birth to new ideas. You get the idea, right? But again, retrograde. And then we're going to look at Neptune. Neptune is going into Aries. And so it's a little different than usual, the reading. But that's how I work. I work with what inspires me. I work with to learn with the cards, to talk to you. But when there is a celestial moment happening that's telling me Neptune is going into Aries on the 30th of March this month, I have to look at that. And it's going to stay for 14 to 15 years. And it's going to really change the way we look at things. Back to the last reading, Pisces Sun gave Aquarius Moon the light, and Pisces rules the Hanged Man. So the message was The vision of yours will make you independent and happy. And I see that there is one part that is coming back again. And so we can begin the reading. So I begin not with your court card. I'm beginning with the Sun in Aries because we had the spring equinox. The Sun in Aries. The sun year begins. A new sun year begins. And you're getting here the snow, the silence. And that's what your month is. It's snow, it's winter, it's February. And I think you waking up to the new potential that is now coming through Aries, right? That push to come out of this slumber, come out of this silence. What is Aries deck bringing? It's bringing the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is Venus in Aries. So Venus, which is of course the Empress and retrograde in Aries, is the sign that Venus is affecting you and that you were waiting for the right moment to either celebrate a marriage or to become someone that says, well, I'm established now in the way I want to be seen in this world. Here we have the 34, we have the Empress and the Emperor, and the 7 appears here. So the 7 is, of course, the understanding of the emotional intelligence. The 7 and the 4 is the 11. So there's an 11 here, and here's then the 19 turns into the 10. And the 10 is always a cycle ending. And it's letting me know that there's 3 wands and the 0. The Fool is here as well, that says, well, just start completely new, start fresh. And we see the light here in this picture, right? It's very bright, it's very clean, it's very beautiful, right? What the sun is, it's like those rays that are bringing us the understanding that now my personality is clearing. And it's coming into the 11, and you are the 11 zodiac sign. So you are born as an 11. You are born into a portal right away. And so this is the message coming from the sun through Aries. Then we're going to look at the moon. And the moon in your sign, right, is like in your subconscious, you understand what the hollow bone is bringing. Teachability. So the 28 turns into a 10, and the 18 turns into a 9. The 10 and the 9 is the 19. The 19, again, that's the sun. And so the sun is letting you know now the sun as the life-giving energy is becoming stronger again, right? It's going to melt the snow. And we're coming out of the silence of what winter means. And so then all of a sudden we will see the bones. And so you see here the same feeling. It's this, I'm coming into the light, the moon, the subconscious. Now what is your deck bringing? You get the 6 of Pentacles, which is moon in Taurus. Taurus, of course, an earth sign, is bringing you the bone. So the 10 and the 6 is the 16, that's the tower. And the tower, that's Mars. Mars is ruling, of course, the emperor. And observe how that makes you feel, because the 7 comes here up again, and you have then a 7-7 portal. Right, so the 7 and the 9 again is the 16, and the 16 is the 7 that's left. Your emotional intelligence is being now asked to go deeper and to feel deeper and to understand that you are coming into a new type of consciousness by accepting that the moon in Taurus is giving and taking. And sometimes when we see that something has gone, right? We cherish more these moments with other people. It's like the end of a cycle. And so this is a beautiful sign, right? That there is this central line that is letting you know it's about these interactions that are really important. And the 7, this is where the emotional intelligence is being cherished, being understood, right? By connecting to the people that we're with. Then comes you. You are, of course, here the feminine or the masculine king, and you get the Hermit. And the Hermit is the number 9, so here is an 11, an 11, and the 9. The 9 is the completion, and of course the Hermit is Virgo. And you are up here looking at the world, and that's what you are. You are a star, you go up high, and so somehow you connected with Virgo because Virgo is up again in the mountain. It's much closer to the stars than if we would be here at the ocean. And Virgo is bringing you the 3 of Swords, which is Saturn in Libra. So 3 swords is always that moment where we recognize we're having a heartache. So the 9 and the 3 is the 12. The 12 is the hangman. Let go and rejuvenate by looking from above what happened to you, right? The 3 of Swords is always this, like, it's a heartache, and you see the heart, it's dark. So Saturn is the world, and Libra is justice. There is, or there has been, an injustice. Out of the 12 we get the 3 again. So then I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing. Here comes the 8 of Cups to the right. And here you see the octopus with all his most favorable cups. And he loves all these cups, but he goes and moves on. So since it's pointing to the 3 of Swords, you realize something through this heartache, and now you're moving on. You're really moving on because it's time to see that the 8 and the 3 is an 11. And so in a way we have 3 times the 11 here, plus the 9. And in the 9, understand the completion and feel this portal, because 3 times the 11 is here, the third eye. 3 times the 11 is 6 times the 1. And the 6 is seeing love in the third eye. Then I'm going to look at the Fool. What is the Fool bringing? The 4 of Pentacles, and that's the card that came last time as well. So there is a stability in being with who you are, as the Sun in Capricorn is showing you. Be stable. So the 4 and the 0 is the 40. Be foolish enough to challenge the stability that you have gained, and always find the adventure. What is coming through your deck? The Scorpio is coming, and Scorpio came last time as the King of Cups. And the King of Cups, of course, is letting you know that you have to accept deep feelings, and now you have to accept a letting go. So the 4 and the 13 is then the 17. That's you. So it's speaking directly to you, but I can also turn the 13 into a 4. Then you have a 4-4 portal. And you had the 4 here in the 34, and you have the 4 of Wands. And the Emperor is a 4. So in that stability, there's a shift happening. And of course, there's also the 17. The 17 turns then this into an 8. And then you have an 8 portal here with the 8 of Cups. So the 6 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles are 10 Pentacles. And in those 10, we understand again that you have arrived, that the 28 is a 10 as well, that the 10 is a new cycle that is happening through the beginning of this sun year, right? That Aries, the equinox, the spring equinox has brought to you. What is Scorpio bringing you? It's bringing you. So here you are, the most simplest of the star pictures, right? Or the star that you are here. Here you are Apollo, sun god, in front of the Taj Mahal and have wings. And here you are someone that just simply washes its hair. And she's looking to you, and you see that she's almost saying, yeah, sometimes we gotta let go of things and we come into a simplicity that is so beautiful. And through the mind, through the hair that is bringing here the waterfall, you will bring your ideas to the people. So beautiful, right? So then we have here an 8-8 portal. If I make this a 17, then this is the 8, and you the 17, 17, 17, then an 8-8 portal. Or we can, of course, create the 4-4 portal. And then here the 17 is the 8. But I prefer the 8-8 portal, right? That you are combining the stability now and letting go and seeing again that you have learned something quite significantly here through the foolish idea that you may have a new start, that you are going deeper. Now we're going to look at the Magician. The Magician is Mercury, and Mercury is in retrograde in Aries. So here comes the Earth. And the Earth is the number 17. So you have 3 times the 17, right? We had here the 17. And we had with the Death card and the 4 of Pentacles also 17. And of course you, right? So in a way it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 times now the 17, 4 times the 8 plus this 8, 5 times the 8. You are talking about leaving, but it's not just a talk anymore, it's a decision that you made. And you're leaving because you are doing this for the Earth. You have realized something here. You have transformed into, right? You're looking at the fact that you are now washing your hair, that you are using the water to clear your mind. And so the 17 plus the 1 is the 18, and the 18 is the moon, the subconscious. In your subconscious, you're creating now through Mercury in retrograde in Aries a slow awareness and a slow awakening. And what is, of course, Aries saying? Aries is bringing you the 10 of Wands, which is Saturn in Sagittarius. So you had Saturn in Pisces, which is here the 8 of Cups. And Saturn now in Sagittarius is saying, well, you got to do a lot if you really want to now work with the planet. And we need to come back to working again and using our hands, using the connection to the earth. And let not a machine take over, because it's sacred what we have, right? When we work with our body and not become this kind of like personality that lets other people work for them. So the 17 plus the 10 is the 27, and the 27 turns into a 9, the 9 and the 1 is the 10. So the 10 is, like I said, a new beginning, a new awareness that you are gaining, and you're gaining that awareness through the retrograde, Mercury retrograde in Aries. So don't be oppressed and work with the earth and notice where we get our resources from people who work really hard, who are suppressed, and you can create the magic for those kind of people. And now we look at the Empress, Venus. Venus is getting the Hermit again. So the Hermit came here under the court card. So you have a 9-9 portal, and you recognize that the Hermit is really wanting to tell you something. This seclusion, this going within, going inwards, and he's holding the light to Venus, and Venus is retrograde in Aries as well. So the 9 and the 3 is the 12, and that's the Hanged Man, letting go. And then the 3 is left. What is here also Aries saying, because Venus is in Aries, so here comes the Knight of Cups, which is Pisces. Now you had here the 8 of Cups, right, which is Saturn in Pisces. So the 8 and the 12 is the 20, and that's Pluto. Pluto is in your sign right now for 20 years. You have Pluto staying at your house and changing everything all the time. So it's important that you go within. It's important that you're holding the light up for yourself. And so here's the 3 and the 9, the 12. The 12 again, the 3 is left. So the 12, right, and the 9, we could also calculate that together, is the 21, and the 21 is the World. The World is feeling now that Venus is in retrograde here in Aries. Feminine Aries, masculine Aries, right? And you are understanding that something is important here through Pisces. Pisces is opposite of Virgo, and what came is maturity. And maturity is the Ace of Pentacles. So there is new money that can be made, and that's what Venus does. If you go deep within, if you take that path then out with love, you will make the right amount of money always. You will make new money, money that has not been tainted by the patriarch or by people who are suppressing others, right? And this is where I work. I work with people who I can really support, where I get the material from, where I get the resources from. I want to close the cycle. I want not to exploit the people. So this is where maturity comes in. There has to be a certain maturity for us to be able to see this consciousness, this conscious move. So there's a 3, and she's the 3. It's a 3-3. The 1 and the 9 is the 10. The 10 and the 33. The 33 we know is mastery, but the 33 could also be a 6. So if I calculate now, the 9 and the 3 is the 12. The 12 becomes the 3. The 3 and the 12 is the 15. The 15 is the 6. The 6 and the 1 is the 7. The emotional intelligence is coming back here again, right? And that's the 7th chakra. So it's really beautiful that Venus is letting you know, go deep within and you can make new money in a very loving way. Last station, Neptune. Neptune is going to go into Aries, and Neptune, our dreams, is the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man came through the number 12 a few times. So here I have Carolyn Myss archetypes, and you get the teacher. So we have a light attribute and we have a dark attribute to these cards. And the light attributes, of course, is ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom, which is beautiful. But then we want to look at the shadow side, right? So that we work through it, manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. So observe that when you teach someone what you have learned, what you have realized, because the 12 becomes the 3. And again, the 3 is connected here with the Empress, is when you create new things, right? Understand that. Here the 12 of Pisces, which is also then a 3. And we had the 3 of Swords. Remember, the 3 of Swords is a painful situation, but we also had the 3 here in the snow. So observe, right? Always observe how you're working with this archetype. What is bringing Aries again, right? Because it's going into Aries, we get the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is Moon in Aquarius. And the Moon is in Aquarius. So the Moon in Aquarius is like, he's looking over here and he's like, yeah, I gotta let go of a few things that maybe not making sense. The 7 and the 3 is a 10, a new 10, a new wake up call, right? For you to not fight, to not be harsh, to not be stern, to not guard these swords. 2 are on the floor, 1 is in his hands, and there was a fight. So learn that you don't want to fight anymore. You want to integrate the 7 of Swords, right? The emotional intelligence that sees that if situation like this arises, that you go and hang upside down. And in the hanging upside down, you're letting go of this. Wanting to be right, wanting to be the teacher, even to people who don't ask you to be the teacher, right? And I think this is what needs to be looked at, because Neptune in Aries, in wanting to be the emperor, doesn't matter feminine or masculine emperor, Aries is a leader. And so sometimes you just gotta watch how you talk with Aries. Or now Neptune being in Aries is like your dreams are coming through, but also at the same time you gotta observe how you talk to people, that you're not using this part of yours, right? You don't have to be a teacher. Sometimes we just want to tell people how we think this world should be, and it doesn't work like that, right? Even if we would like to, it doesn't work like that. So the 10 is left here, and the 10 is saying, well, observe, right, this new awareness of yours. Observe that you have the holy bone, the teachability, right? The teachability is to understand not everybody wants to learn from you what you know. And so the teachability is to awaken to a whole new paradigm, to awaken that, yes, Saturn in Sagittarius is that moment where we help people, and we can only help people who want to be helped, right? People who work very hard for the planet Earth, right? It has been, right? A lot of people have been used in building this world. And so I think you are going to have to wake up to this maturity, this beautiful card that is saying, well, you have to understand that the one, this ace of pentacles, right? So you have 6 pentacles and 4 pentacles, right? That's 10 pentacles. Now 1 more. Look at that. This is crazy. This is the 11. This is you. You have to see money now as a portal. You use money as a portal. Whatever you want to have done, do not suppress people. Whatever you want to have done, do not tell people how they have to do it. Awaken to the awareness that things can be done in a fun way, right? You have 4 and 10. That's 14 wands. 14 is the 5 senses, right? And so 14 wands, that's Sagittarius. And that's Saturn in Sagittarius, right? And Sagittarius is expanding. We want to go out there, but Saturn is the whole world. And so you understand very clearly that here is something that is talking directly to you, but you have 11 coins. 11 coins, that's the portal in the finances. That's the portal in giving and taking, being financially stable, but also seeking now a whole new way of making money. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Taurus. We have moon in Taurus. So Taurus is bringing you this sharing, giving and taking inhale and exhale. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.